Deep within the heart of the Rub al-Khali, where the dunes stretch into eternity, lies a secret that time itself has tried to bury. For millennia, nomads have whispered of a city that vanished, not by war or pestilence, but by a divine decree. It was a place of impossible beauty, built of gold and pearl, standing tall upon mighty pillars. But beneath its shimmer lay a pride so profound that it challenged the very foundations of the heavens. This is not just a myth, it is a warning from the past. Today, we step beyond the veil. We are not just exploring geography, we are investigating a collapse. We will trace the rise of Shaddad, the architect of a terrestrial paradise, and explore the moment the earth opened to reclaim what was never truly ours. This is an investigation into the intersection of prophecy, legend, and the cold, hard reality of discovery. Prepare yourself, for the silence of the desert is not emptiness. It is a weight, and it has waited a long time to speak. In the beginning, there was only the vast expanse of the Rub al-Khali, a landscape so harsh that it demanded humility from all who crossed its borders. But the tribe of AD, the people of this lost city, chose a different path. They were gifted with strength and mastery, yet they succumbed to the ultimate human temptation, the desire to become creators themselves. Their story is a mirror held up to our own ambitions. We look for Iram, but perhaps we are really looking for ourselves. Long before the sands claimed the city of pillars, there existed the people of Ad. They were a civilization of unmatched strength, carved from the harsh landscape of the Arabian Peninsula. History describes them as giants in spirit and stature, possessing profound knowledge of the earth. They were masters of water and stone, capable of transforming barren valleys into thriving landscapes. Their power lay in their ability to reshape the world. The legends speak of their cities, vast and formidable, standing as symbols of their dominance over the elements. The people of Ad lived in an era where nature was a challenge to be conquered. They did not settle for what the land provided. They demanded more. They built with a precision that hinted at secrets lost to time. Yet, with every success, their confidence grew, eventually crossing the threshold from ambition into a dangerous form of hubris that would define their tragic legacy. As their towers reached higher, the warnings began to echo in the whispers of the desert. The Quran describes a people who built monuments on every high place, not out of necessity, but to satisfy an insatiable vanity. They carved palaces into mountains and raised pillars that mocked the horizon. They believed their strength was eternal, a fortress against the fragility of life. But in their eyes, the horizon was no longer a limit. It was a challenge they sought to conquer. Yet, this greatness was shadowed by a fatal flaw. In their arrogance, the people of AD believed they were immune to the cycle of time. They looked upon their golden columns as if they were immortal, forgetting the hand that granted them such prosperity. Their strength did not save them from their own hubris. The narrative of Iram is a testament to the truth. that when human ambition seeks to replace the divine, the sand inevitably rises to claim its own. King Shaddad, possessed by an obsession, vowed to build a paradise on earth that would rival the heavens. He commanded his craftsmen to gather the rarest jewels, gold and pearls. They sculpted massive columns from precious stone and laid streets paved with shimmering gems. It was a city designed to be eternal, a masterwork of human skill. Yet, every stone laid in Iram was a testament to his pride. He sought to create a heaven without the divine, a hollow masterpiece built on vanity. Within the walls of Iram, nothing was as it seemed. The air was thick with the scent of musk and saffron, and the light reflected from gold and silver made the city glow with an eerie, constant luminescence. There were no trees, only silver branches and diamond leaves that chimed in the desert wind. It was a masterpiece of illusion, a testament to what men can build when they reject all boundaries. Yet, beneath the shimmer, the city remained cold, a beautiful prison of vanity and silent stone. The city of pillars stood complete, a crown jewel in the barren desert. King Shaddad and his people gazed upon their creation with unparalleled pride. They saw it not as a blessing, but as absolute proof of their own divinity. Within their vast marble halls, they mocked the warnings of the prophets. They truly believed their architectural might had conquered mortality itself, and that their legacy would remain untouched by the sands of time. Their arrogance had reached its summit. They challenged the heavens directly, proclaiming Iram as the true paradise. Shaddad planned a grand procession to enter his creation for the first time, not as a humble worshipper, but as a creator stepping into his domain. The air was heavy with anticipation and the rich scent of saffron. Yet, beneath the celebration, an ominous and suffocating silence suddenly fell over the surrounding deep desert. The sky began to bruise, turning a sickly shade of violet that no desert sun had ever cast. The air, once filled with the scent of saffron, grew heavy with the metallic temps of ozone and impending doom. In the streets of gold, the laughter died. Citizens looked upward, their faces pale as they realized the impossible. The horizon was vanishing. A wall of sand, vast and black as a mountain, was rising to swallow the horizon, moving with a speed that defied all earthly logic. Shaddad stood on his balcony, his hand gripping the cold gold of the railing, his arrogance finally flickering like a candle in a gale. The paradise he built was now a tomb of his own making. The birds had stopped their singing, and even the wind had ceased, leaving a silence so profound it felt like a collective holding of breath. The gods were no longer mocking him. They were arriving. Iram was beautiful. It was wealthy, and it was utterly, irredeemably doomed. The earth screamed. The foundations of the city, laid in such arrogance, groaned as the desert floor split open. The black wall of sand struck with the force of a divine hammer, shattering the golden columns like dry twigs. Shaddad's scream was lost in the roaring abyss of the storm. The paradise that was built to outlast time was being erased in a heartbeat, returning to the nothingness from which it was forged. There was no mercy in the collapse. Treasures, ivory, and gold were pulverized into dust, indistinguishable from the sand that had reclaimed its domain. Iram, the Atlantis of the sands, dissolved into the shifting dunes. The sun vanished behind a veil of suffocating earth. In the end, there was no monument, no king, and no memory, only the eternal, uncaring wind, sweeping over a landscape that had finally forgotten the name of the man who dared to challenge the gods. Silence returned, heavier than the mountain of sand that swallowed the city. The apocalypse was swift, and the erasure was total. The sun, now a distant, indifferent orb, beat down upon an endless sea of barren dunes. Not a single column, not a single gemstone, not a single trace of Iram remained. The desert wind, the only true king of this realm, began its eternal, melancholic song, erasing the last whispers of a king's mad dream. Generations passed. Nomads crossing the vast, empty quarter would sometimes point to a strange, shifting shape in the distance, whispering of a city of pillars buried deep below. But it was only a myth, a ghost story told around dying fires. Iram, the many-columned, the jewel of the desert, had become what it always truly was: a whisper lost in the howling wind, a mirror of human vanity, brilliant, fleeting, and utterly consumed by the void. Centuries turned into millennia, and the name Iram became a cipher for the human soul's eternal struggle against its own limits. Scientists and dreamers alike searched the endless sands, mapping the emptiness where gold once reached for the stars. They found nothing but the wind, yet they kept searching. It is the curse and the grace of our kind. We are always looking for cities that have already returned to the dust, hoping to find a fragment of ourselves in the ruins. The desert keeps its secrets. Well, Iram is not a place. It is a warning etched in sand, a reminder that every throne built on vanity eventually surrenders to the earth. The dunes shift, the sun burns, and the wind continues its rhythmic, hollow song. And somewhere, beneath the vast, golden silence, the pillars wait not to be found, but to be understood. We are all builders of Iram, and we all know how the story ends.